So, I was very excited about the mediation this Wednesday, and personally, I think mediation is a beautiful and very useful thing, but I feel like I'm not really good at it yet, though I hope I can be better because it is a very meaningful task to be a mediator. I felt like our mediation on Wednesday didn't go very well, but I'm not too worried about it because I know that people learn the most from the mistakes they made, and we got a really good feedback from our role players, so that helps me a lot to realize the common mistakes we made and strive to be better next time. Although I still think mediation is a very difficult job. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what went well and what didn't in our mediation, and obviously there were more things that went wrong, but that's okay. I tried preparing for this mediation with reading all of the articles and comments online and do a little more research on the topic. I also reviewed the theories, what we learned in class about mediation, and I had a plan what I'm going to use and how during this mediation. But the interesting thing is that when I prepare and when we talk about mediation in class, it never really seems very hard. But as soon as I'm in practice, sitting there and actively being a mediator, sometimes it's very hard to make all the theories happen. I have still so much to learn in this field, but it's worth it. So I prepared for this mediation approximately well, though there are some things that I realized I missed. What I thought I will definitely do before the mediation is saying a personal prayer to God so he can send me the Holy Ghost to help me to see better and understand better the people I'm going to help. I think mediation is a job where you especially need spiritual inspiration and promptings, and I was planning to do that, but unfortunately I totally forgot this personal prayer about my mediation. My partner was Elisa, and although I didn't know her very well, we became friends easily, and then I was very happy that Dr. Ford chose her to be my partner. We also met up for an hour in the afternoon of the mediation and talked about our strategies, plans, and ideas for this conflict. We were both very excited. And what I regret is that we could have prepared more together and we could have specifically agreed on in what order we will do our mediation and how can we make it go smoothly. And by the way, at the end of our whole mediation turned out not running very smoothly. We both examined the mediation cheat sheet and were planning to do our mediation according to that. But somehow we messed up because of our nervousness. We started a few minutes late while I had to rush to the bathroom, and when I got back, Elisa seemed to start to get to know our role players, although I don't think they were in character yet. I think what we really did wrong is skipping the entire introduction. When I got back from the bathroom, Elisa said we're going to start with a game. And although I seemed a little surprised and asked her, shouldn't we do introduction first or later? She said after the game it should be fine. So I trusted her and we started playing the ice-breaking game called Have I Never Ever. It was a good game, but I don't think this was the right place for it, and I also felt like we lost some opportunities during the game of asking personal questions from our role players, and this was our role players' feedback as well. After that, we asked for a quick introduction, but it basically only contained our role players to introduce themselves in character, and we asked them what are their preferred names and how we should call them, but that was it. We had some ground rules, and Elisa quickly explained them. They were basic ground rules, no yelling, name calling, though as I looked at my role players I thought we wouldn't have a problem with that. Our role players were Brian and Taylor. Sorry, I forgot her name because in the mediation she preferred to be called as Miss Helm. What we did wrong is that we skipped introducing ourselves and we didn't explain the purpose of our mediation, our role as mediators, and the confidentiality of mediation, the process we will be following, and we didn't ask them if they have any questions. So basically our big fault was that we missed almost all of the important steps of stage 1, source mediation cheat sheet. Instead of that, we were trying to do this building a relationship of trust. So we started to get to know them, ask them personal questions and random questions about themselves, their connection to Hawaii and La'i, and this lasted for like 30 minutes. During this time, we tried to dig deeper in Ford's photorealistic iceberg TM, and we cleared their positions, which means their opinions and what they wanted. We tried to use the mediator's critical word, why? Because it forces human beings to reframe their argument. Theory from lecture notes on the 26th of February. So, we tried to dig deeper and understood their interests. We even went down to their values, and they shared their worldviews, why they are here, etc. And I felt we even went down to their needs, but that's where we stopped. And from that point, I felt like our mediation is not going anywhere. It was after an hour. After that, we just kept repeating the questions with different words, and the role players kept repeating their answers, and it seemed like they started to get frustrated. We were frustrated too, and Miss Ham even asked the question, why are we even here? I feel like we're not going anywhere. We looked at each other desperately with Elisa, and to be honest, I felt the same, but I didn't know how to go further. I think this mediation and our mediation partners were a great challenge for us because in the beginning they seemed very peaceful, very quiet. So it didn't even occur to us for a while that there is a problem between them. And I know that's the role they played, and in the feedback they said that there are people and personalities like that in real life. But I think it's really hard to deal with that kind of personalities. We did some good job on reframing and restating, especially my partner Elisa. But even when we did that, we still felt our mediation is not really improving. On class, Dr. Ford mentioned a thing, trickster, what could have helped in this situation, but we didn't know about that, so we couldn't use it. We should have asked for more definitions, I guess, like Brian he was supporting Keep It a Country, mentioned many times that he wants his family to be safe. He's afraid of crime, so security is important to him. So we could have asked him, what does he mean by feeling secure? And I thought we could have tried to ask the question, why is family important to him? But I felt like the answer for that is kind of obvious, so we didn't ask that question. All in all, so our goal actually was to get them out of the box and help them to see each other as people, but unfortunately we had a little success in that. We tried some things they have in common, and we found actually some things. It was their love for Hawaii, the La'i, nature, families, but unfortunately we failed to dig deeper in that, and that's why that is one of the reasons I think we failed this mediation. And on the summary section after the mediation, it was very interesting to hear how others did their mediation. There were many things I could learn from their examples, and I made some notes, and although I feel like what we did on Wednesday was not very successful, our role players in the feedback encouraged us that with practice we can get better, and I'm still interested in mediation and excited to learn more about it because, how I mentioned in the beginning, I find it a very meaningful and very useful job, helping resolving conflicts and bettering relationships. So it was a great experience all in all, even if I feel like we didn't do very well and we failed the mediation, but I know we did it actually for the first time. But so it was an interesting experience for the first time doing this. But I'm grateful for the opportunity and the role players who volunteered to help us, and for everything I learned during that 1.5 hour. So thank you for your attention, and here are the works, theories cited.